Let me see.
Wait, can you hear me?
Microphone speaker. Yes. Can you hear me, Rodrigo?
Yeah.
And your brother is connected.
Mhm.
Yeah. Go. We can do one. Well, this or this. Uh, mm, the weather is changing very much. It's cold now in India. Okay. Hey, Gonzalez. Hey, Deacon. What's the temperature there? Or what's the weather like in your place? We have uh, not very, but it's a cold morning. The temperature is about, I guess, 20 degrees. And we are expecting it to get colder. By the end of
Uh,
this month, it is going to be very cold.
Teacher, I can't listen very well.
So you can't
Teacher.
hear me very well. Okay, okay. How about now? Is it better?
Yeah.
All right. So, you know, I have this thing here, you know, this basically talks about grammar. Um, I think you guys need this lesson as well. In grammar, what is a sentence? Okay, when we speak or write in English, we use words. Okay, we generally use these words in groups. Little Jack Homer sat in a corner. A group of words like this, which makes complete sense, is called a sentence. Did you know the definition of a sentence? What is a sentence? A group of words, okay, which makes complete sense is called a sentence. There are four kinds of sentences. One, which makes statements or assertions. Gonzalo and Rodrigo are students of English. Second, which asks questions. Where do you live? And the third kind of sentence is called imperative sentences. This makes commands, requests. For example, Be quiet. Okay. Notice how many different kinds of sentences we are talking about. One, which makes assertions or statements. It makes statements. Use the simpler words, okay? Statements. So there are sentences which make statements. There are sentences which ask questions. And there are sentences which express commands, requests. Understand? And those sentences which express strong feelings. What a shame. How cold the night is. Okay. Now these express strong feelings. So we can say there are four kinds of sentences. Right. The first is statements. Okay. Give me an example of a sentence which is a statement. Declarative sentences or assertive sentences, which are statements. Anything, Gonzalo. Okay. Any statement you make. English is an interesting language. Okay. This is a declarative or assertive sentence. Two, an interrogative sentence, which makes a question. Okay. When you want to ask, when you ask for some information. Imperative sentences, when you make requests, when you make orders, commands, okay. And then those which express strong feelings. What a shame. This is exclamatory sentence. Okay, this is an exclamatory sentence because there is a note of exclamation here. What is this thing called? This thing? This thing is called a note of exclamation. Note of exclamation. So there are four different kinds of sentences. Okay. Now, do you understand subject and predicate? What is subject? What is predicate in English?
Yeah, teacher.
You understand that, right? Subject and predicate. Look at this here. We name some person or thing and we say something about that person or thing. Okay. So when we make a sentence, we name some person or thing and we say something about that person or thing. For example, subject, a subject to speak about, and we must say a predicate something about that subject. Predicate basically means to say. Predicate. Okay, the word predicate. You know, uh, take a look at these sentences here. The cackling of geese saved Rome. The cackling of geese saved Rome. Now, in this sentence, what is the subject and what is the predicate?
The cackling of geese
Is the subject,
is the
right?
subject. The subject, yeah.
And saved Rome
Predicate.
is the predicate. Rodrigo, Gonzalo is very confident about it. How about you? Could you answer? The boy stood on the burning deck. What is the subject and what is the predicate?
The subject is the boy.
Perfect. Both of you are amazing. Well done. And the predicate is stood on the burning deck. Let's have another. These are easy sentences. He has a good memory. The subject is he. And has a good memory is the predicate. Okay, take a look at this one. Sentence number 13. What is the subject? What is the predicate?
I think we is the subject.
And
Only
what's,
we
yeah, we is the subject. And what's the predicate?
cannot pump up the oceans, right?
Do you understand the meaning of the sentence too? Do you understand the meaning of the sentence?
Yes, yes. Yes.
We cannot pump the ocean dry. It is too vast. V-A-S-T, vast, big, huge. Okay, this is a fantastic saying. Take a look. What's the subject? Number 14.
Uh, borrowed garments.
Borrowed garments is the subject. Never fit well is the predicate, Gonzalo. And there is so much wisdom in this sentence. Borrowed garments never fit well. You can take it literally and you can think about it figuratively too. Borrowed garments never fit well. Ideas which are not your own, you cannot explain them. You cannot talk about the good and the bad things about them so much, because borrowed garments never fit well. Okay. Next. All roads lead to Rome. In this sentence, what's the subject and what's the predicate?
The subject is all,
Okay.
and the predicate is roads lead to Rome.
Gonzalo, do you
No,
agree with your brother?
I,
No, your
I
brother
think
doesn't agree with himself. He wants to
the
change
subject
his
is
answer.
all
Yeah.
roads. All roads. All roads.
All roads is the subject. That's right. Have you guys done this kind of exercise before? Subject and predicate exercise? You've done this before at school?
Sorry.
Have you done this kind of exercise at school to choose the subject and choose the predicate?
Yes, very similar.
Oh, you've done it. Okay, that's lovely. This helps so much, this gives me so much confidence for what I have to teach next. Okay. Look at this sentence. Gonzalo, a sick room should be well aired. The subject and predicate, please.
The subject is a sick room,
Very good.
and the predicate should be well aired.
Yeah, do you understand the meaning of this sentence as well?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Perfect. You too, Rodrigo. A sick room should be well aired. It means when you put a sick person in a room, make sure that the room has a window, a ventilation, right? So a sick room should be well aired. Very good. You guys did a good job with this. Now, what is the difference between a phrase and a clause? Are you familiar with these terms in English? A phrase and a clause?
Mm,
I can
I
explain.
think no.
I can
Yeah.
explain. Okay, look at the group of words in a corner. It makes sense, right? In a corner, it makes some sense, right? But it doesn't make a complete sense. That's why it is not a sentence. But because it makes some sense, it's a phrase. A group of words which makes some sense is called a phrase. Let's have another example. An old man. An old man. Now, this is also a phrase. So, can you think and give examples of some phrases?
Um, a big dog,
Come again.
a big dog,
A
big
big dog.
dog.
A big dog. Absolutely. Great. On the table is also a phrase, right? On the table. It makes some sense, right? On the table is a phrase because a phrase is a group of words which should make some sense. Okay, Gonzalo, your video has frozen? No, no, I can see you moving. Gonzalo, give me a phrase. A phrase is a group of words which make some sense. Speak
The furious cat.
softly. Come again, Gonzalo.
The furious cat.
The four year and Gonzalo, could you repeat yourself? The
No,
four year.
he said furious.
Furious cat.
Could you could you write it to me? I'm not getting the pronunciation. Maybe I can help you with that. Gonzalo, could you type that to me? Yeah, in the chat box. Write what you're saying because I can't really understand what you're saying right now. So maybe I have to tell you about the correct pronunciation of what you're saying. Just type it to me. A furious cat. Okay. A lovely phrase. I love it. Furious. A furious cat. How do you pronounce it, Gonzalo? Furious. The spelling is
A
slightly wrong.
furious
Okay.
cat.
The spelling is furious. 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 Okay. Furious. Repeat the word, Gonzalo and Rodrigo. Furious.
Furious.
Yes. A furious cat. All right. Very angry cat. Well done. So you understand what a phrase is as well.
Yeah,
And
so teacher, a phrase is a group of words that don't have a verb.
that's right. It can have a verb. It can have a verb. Okay. But it can have a verb as well. But you see, um, it doesn't it doesn't have to be that way that it doesn't have a verb. It can have a verb. But you see, in this sentence here, on a wall is a phrase, sat on a wall is also a phrase. Okay. To my door. Okay. A giant is also a phrase because there are two words. Okay. But I understand why your teacher must have told you that there isn't a verb there. Okay. Because it's easy to understand the difference between a clause and a verb. So we understand what a phrase is. Now let's talk about a clause. A clause is a combination. Okay. A clause is a combination. Here, take a look. Um, okay. Okay. Let me write something here. Just a second. I'll write something here. When we reached home, okay. When we reached home, everyone was waiting. Okay, take a look at this sentence. When we reached home, everyone was waiting. Okay, here, notice this. We reached. We reached. There is a subject and there is a predicate or there is a verb. Okay, this combination is called a clause. We can say in this sentence, we have two clauses. There are two clauses in this sentence, Rodrigo and Gonzalo. We have two clauses. One clause is we reached home, and the other clause is everyone was waiting. Understand? A clause is a combination of a subject and a predicate, basically, but it is inside a sentence. Understand? Okay. We reached home. When I write, we reached home, then this is a sentence. This is a sentence where we is the subject and reached home is the predicate. Okay. But here in this sentence, when we reached home, everyone was waiting. We reached home is not called a sentence. It is called a clause. So a clause is a sentence like a structure inside a sentence. Do you understand what I'm saying? Inside a sentence, you have another sentence like a structure which has a subject and a predicate. So a clause is different from a phrase. If you notice, okay, if you notice here, an old man, there is no subject, there is no predicate. A big dog, there is no subject, there is no predicate. On the table, there is no subject, there is no predicate. Speak softly. Now, this can be taken as an imperative sentence as well. But yeah, it is to speak softly. I want to write here to, and then it will be easier for you to understand. I just want to add here to speak softly. Okay. And a furious cat, as you said, which I didn't write here. So a phrase is a group of words which makes some sense. Okay. But a clause is like a sentence, like a structure, and it is inside a sentence. It has a subject and it has a predicate. Okay, let me write a sentence, another sentence, and tell me how many predicates do you see there? Okay, people who pay their debts are trusted. Okay, people who pay their debts are trusted. Can you see here who pay? Okay, this is your subject, this is your predicate. This is a clause. Okay, now take a look at this one. I think that you have made a mistake. In this sentence, you have one clause here, I think. You have another clause, you have made a mistake. There are two clauses. So a sentence can have one clause, a sentence can have two clauses, sometimes more than two clauses as well. Okay. Okay. So a clause is a sentence like a structure. Okay. It has a subject and a predicate. So we understand what a phrase is. We also understand what a clause is. A clause can be an independent subject sentence, take it out. When we reached home, everyone was waiting. Okay. We reached home itself is a sentence. But when it is with when, we call it a clause. When we reached home, everyone was waiting. We reached home is a clause in this sentence. Now, moving on to these 8 parts of a speech, dear students. 8 parts of a speech. You are familiar with them, I'm sure, but we are still going to talk about them. Nouns. Nouns are names, okay? Names of people, places, and things. Kolkata is on the Hooghly. In this sentence, how many nouns do you see?
Kolkata
And
and Hooghly.
very good, very good. Hooghly is a river, by the way. Kolkata is a city, by the way. It is in India. Okay, the rose smells sweet. Do you see a noun here?
The
Rose.
rose.
Very good. The sun shines bright.
Sun.
The sun, right? Very good. And of course, you could say sun is a noun here. His courage won him honor. His courage won him honor.
Courage.
This is
Courage is a
correct.
noun, and there is another noun here. Honor is also a
Honor.
noun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honor. Yeah.
Okay. And okay. So when we talk about nouns, there are different kinds of nouns. Okay. But we will talk about them a bit later. First of all, understand there are objects that we can see, hear, taste, touch, smell, and there are things which we can think of but cannot touch, cannot see, cannot hear. Okay. So we are talking about honor. Honor is an idea. Okay. It's an abstract noun. There are concrete nouns and there are abstract nouns. Honor is an abstract noun. Courage is also an abstract noun. Okay. The sun is not an abstract noun. Okay. The sun is not. Rose is not an abstract noun. Kolkata is not an abstract noun. Hooghly is not an abstract noun. Kolkata and Hooghly, Kolkata is a city, Hooghly is a river, rose is a flower, the sun is an object too, which has a body, but courage and honor, these two are just ideas. They are abstract nouns. The abstract nouns are the more difficult ones, okay? Adjectives. What are adjectives, dear students? Adjectives are words that are used to add something to the meaning of a noun. They add something to the meaning of a noun. He is a brave boy. In this sentence, can you see the adjective?
Brave.
Very well done. There are 20 boys in this class. Can you see the adjectives here in this sentence?
20.
20.
20 is an adjective, no doubt. 20 is an adjective. And there is another adjective. Can you notice? Roop, don't do this. Don't touch this. You touch this wire. Okay. Yes, Gonzalo, Rodrigo. There are 20 boys in this class. What is an adjective? Gonzalo and Rodrigo, what's an adjective? An adjective is a word that adds something to the meaning of a noun. Okay. So how many nouns do you see in this sentence?
Boys
Boys
and
and
class.
class.
Right. So the word 20 adds to the meaning of the word boys. So 20 is an adjective. Is there a word that adds meaning to the word class? Do you see
Uh,
a word that adds something, some meaning to the word class? This class, this class, this
uh,
class.
this.
Yeah, so this is also an adjective. It adds some meaning to the word class, which is a noun. So this is also an adjective. Do you agree?
Yeah, but I confused because
Uh-huh.
it's different to Spanish, of
I
Spanish.
can understand that. I can understand that. But in English, an adjective is a word which is used to add meaning to the noun. So this definitely adds some meaning to the word class. This class. Okay, so this is also an adjective. A pronoun is a word used instead of a noun, in place of a noun. A pronoun is used instead of a noun. John is absent because he is ill. So in this sentence, do you see a pronoun?
John.
No, John is
No,
a
no,
noun.
yeah, yes, sorry, he.
He is the pronoun. It's used instead of John. The book, the books are where you left them. The books are books. Okay, not the book. The books are where you left them. There is a typing error here in the sentence. The books are where you left them. Now, in this sentence, do you see pronouns?
Yeah, the
Tell
books.
me
The book.
the pronouns.
The pronoun. Uh, you.
And
Mm, them.
are you sure
No.
you're not sure? Gonzalo, what are the pronouns in the sentence? I'm going to talk about it. Don't worry.
Um, Maybe you and the.
Okay. Your guess is right. Both of you are right. Let me explain why there are two pronouns. You refers to a person. Okay. If I'm saying this, hey, Rodrigo, the books are where you left them. Okay. So you means Rodrigo. Okay. If I'm saying this to you, Gonzalo, hey, Gonzalo, the books are where you left them. You means Gonzalo, and them means the books. Them means the books, right? The books are where you left them. The books are where you left them. So them refers to the books. So in now a pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. So here them is a pronoun used in place of books. So them is also a pronoun and you is also a pronoun. Are you feeling more confident now, Rodrigo? Let's
Yes.
have let's have some more examples. Okay, later. Let me give you some examples actually. You know, I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her recently. I haven't seen her recently. Now, in this sentence, what are the pronouns? I haven't seen her recently.
The a pronoun.
Yes, tell me the pronouns.
Um, I,
And
her.
And
her.
her.
Okay. I and her. She loves herself. Can you see the pronouns, dear students?
She and herself.
Are you confident, Gonzalo?
Yes. I think.
Rodrigo, she loves herself. Can you see the pronouns?
She,
And do you have
herself.
another? Herself is also a pronoun because the word herself also refers to the same girl, right? So a word which is used to refer to a noun, okay? A word which is used in place of a noun is called a pronoun. So she is a pronoun, no doubt. Herself is also a pronoun. We'll talk about the kind of pronouns in later. Let's move on to let's move on to the idea of a verb. A verb. What is a verb? A verb is a word used to express an action or a state. An action or a state. For example, the girl wrote, the girl did something. What is the action we are talking about here? The action of writing. So, wrote, this is a verb in the sentence. The girl wrote. So, wrote is the action. So, this is your verb. Okay, the girl wrote a letter to her cousin. Okay, hey, can we talk about more about this sentence? What is the part of a speech of the word girl?
No.
A noun. Wrote,
Verb.
letter,
Uh, Other noun.
another noun. Very good. Her, okay, cousin,
Noun.
Oh,
her.
Pronoun.
That's where you got it wrong. Gonzalo.
sorry, teacher.
What is the part of a speech of her?
Um, Adjective.
Yes, it is an adjective, Gonzalo. Rodrigo, think about it. This
Yes,
her, this her,
possessive adjective.
yes, a possessive adjective, Rodrigo. Yes, it is. Her cousin. Okay. So cousin is a noun and her adds some meaning to the word cousin, her cousin, not just cousin, her cousin. So her is an adjective here. Good. Okay. Now, in this sentence, Kolkata is a big city. There is no action. There is no action taking place, but there is a state. And which word talks about that state? Kolkata is a noun, city is another noun, big is an adjective, and is our verb because a verb is an action word or a word that refers to a state, a situation. Okay. So Kolkata is a big state. This is our be verb. I've talked about it. Be verb has three forms: is, am, are. These are the forms of be verb. Okay. So Kolkata is a big city. Now take a look here. Iron and copper are useful metals. In this sentence, what's your verb?
Are
Exactly. Is it an action word or a state verb?
state word.
It's a state verb, okay? Iron and copper are useful metals. Well,
Teacher, I have a question.
please go ahead.
In English exists copulative sentence,
Copulative sentences.
copulative sentence.
Okay. And what do you mean by them?
No, because copulative sentence is a sentence that has a verb of state, right?
It has a
A
verb
state
of
verb,
a state verb.
a state verb.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
only this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just a second. Copulative sentences you're talking about, right? You're talking about copulative sentences, grammar. Okay. A sentence that has connected words or clauses. That is called copulative. Are you talking about it, this one or another? Copulative sentence, you talked about it right now in grammar. You're talking about copula? Uh-huh. Okay, a verb that joins a sentence subject to its subject. Okay, got it. You're talking about link verbs. You're talking about link verbs, Rodrigo. Okay, let me tell you what a link verb is. Okay, you're talking about a link verb. Okay, a link verb is a verb that connects the subject with its predicate. Okay, like this here. Are. So yes, it is a link verb. Iron and copper are useful metals. Yes, you're right. In English, we have two types of verbs. A verb that is an action word, the subject performs that action. And sometimes there is a verb which just connects the subject and the, predicate, connects it. Okay. For example, when I say, you look sad. Okay, Rodrigo, you look sad. So here, look is a link verb. We The link verb is more common, term people use. You look sad. So you are not performing an action here. Okay. Here, look is not an action verb. Okay. It is a link verb in English. You look sad means when I look at you, I feel you are sad. Okay. So you look sad. Another, you sound worried. You sound worried. Okay. Or you sound tired. Okay. It means when I hear your voice, I get the feeling that you are tired. You are worried. You sound worried. You sound tired. So these are examples of link verbs: sound, look, seem, feel, um, you know, appear is another. She appeared all right. She appeared all right. It means I felt that she was all right. She appeared all right. So yes, you studied the right thing, the link verbs. Okay. The term copulative verb or copulative sentence is not very common. I don't use that word. That's why I had to just, think about it a little bit. But yes, I understand the concept of link verb. It's a very important concept in English because a lot of times the students feel very confused. Okay. Because, Rodrigo, can you look out of the window? What do you see? Look out of the window. What do you see? Okay, so look is an action word too. For example, I'm looking, then you are doing something, okay? But when we say you look handsome, the meaning changes completely. Take a look at these two sentences. I will write them for you. For looked, he looked out of the window. Okay, he looked out of the window and he looked sad. Okay, now in these two sentences, we have used the same word, looked, looked. The meaning is very different, isn't it? In the first sentence, the boy performed an action. He looked out of the window. Okay. But in the second sentence, he looked sad. He did not perform an action. Okay. here looked is connecting he and sad. He looked sad. Very important. Okay. So, can you please tell me how you express this idea in Spanish? He looked out of the window and speak slowly so that I can follow your Spanish. He looked out of the window. Say it in Spanish.
Okay. Él mira
Elmira.
fuera, él mira afuera de la ventana.
Okay. Most important part I think I got. And now say he looked sad.
Él se ve triste.
Ah, now I can understand. This can be very confusing for Spanish
Yeah.
learners. Okay, great. Okay. Now try and understand how we say this in Hindi. Okay. He looked out of the window. Uh, उसने खिड़की के बाहर देखा. Dekha, looked, dekha, dekha. And he looked sad. वो वो उदास दिख रहा था. Very, very, similar. People who speak Hindi, my language, they don't find these sentences difficult because we have exact, literal translation in our language in a way. Okay, we have a lot of similarities, but you use two different words there in Spanish. Mira, Elmira, he looked out of the window. And you said something different when I said he looked sad.
Yes. Se ve triste.
Savitri say, okay. Yeah, I would like to learn Spanish, but I think maybe after the month of March in 2025, because I have some important work, until then. And then I will find some free time. So I'll resume my language learning. I was learning Spanish and I was learning Italian both. So I would definitely like to continue, but after the month of March. Okay, so looking at this, iron. Okay, a verb can be an action word, it can be a state verb as well. Now, moving on to the next category. The next category is of adverbs. Adverbs are very interesting words. As you know, adjectives add meaning to a noun, right? Adjectives add meaning to a noun. But we need to add meanings to other things as well, like verbs, we need to add meaning to a verb, we need to add meaning to an adjective, or we need to add meaning to another adverb, and that we do with an adverb. An adverb performs this action. An adverb adds meaning, you know, to a verb, to an adjective, or to another adverb. Examples would make it easier. He worked the sum quickly. He worked the sum quickly. Okay, here the one word talks about how he did it, and that word is quickly. So he worked the sum quickly. The word quickly is an adverb. He worked the sum quickly. Some guys are good at maths. They can work the sum quickly. They can do the total. Another phrase, work the sum. This flower is very beautiful. Forget about that one. This flower is very beautiful. Now, there is no action verb. There is a state verb here. Is. Okay. This flower is very beautiful. Now, beautiful is an adjective which describes this flower. Okay. But there is a word, very beautiful. So the word very adds to the meaning of the word beautiful. It adds something to the meaning of the word beautiful. Beautiful itself is an adjective. So very will be an adverb. An adverb adds meaning, okay, to an adjective, to a verb, and to another adverb. She pronounced the word quite correctly. So, first of all, remove the word quiet and let's read. She pronounced the word correctly. She pronounced the word correctly. So, correctly is an adverb because it tells you how she pronounced the word. She pronounced the word correctly. And then we are adding more meaning to the word correctly by adding quite correctly. She pronounced the word quite correctly. Okay. So the word quiet is an adverb. So an adverb adds meaning to the meaning of a verb. It adds meaning to the meaning of an adjective. It adds something to the meaning of another adverb as well. So adjectives only add something to the meaning of a noun, but an adverb can add meaning or add something to the meaning of a verb, an adjective, another adverb, and in some cases, prepositions too. Okay, let's see. A preposition is a word, a preposition. Prepositions are small words, okay, like in, on, with, from. There is a cow in the garden. Where is the cow? Where is the cow? In the garden. In the garden. Okay? In the garden. Let's see. Prepositions, they help us. Suppose this is the garden. Okay? The cow is here or the cow is here. Place A or place B. Obviously, the cow is in the garden. Place B. So the word in is a preposition. Okay, so prepositions are small words which tell you the relation of one noun to the relation of another. Take how the person or thing denoted by the noun or pronoun stands in relation to something else. Take a look at another. The girl is fond of music. The girl is fond of music. So fond is an adjective and of is a preposition here. A fair little girl sat under a tree. Where did she sit? She sat under a tree. So under is a preposition, of is a preposition, in is a preposition. Prepositions are easy, don't worry. They are very few. They can be counted on the fingers, okay? Next, we have 15, a conjunction. A conjunction is a word that connects, as the name says, conjunction. Okay. So their purpose is to connect, to join. Ram and Hari. So Ram and Hari, and is a conjunction. Two and is a conjunction. I ran fast, but missed the train. But is also a conjunction. A conjunction adds, connects two things, links two things, joins two things, okay? They can join nouns, they can join verbs, they can join clauses, okay? So conjunctions join, they are linking words, okay? Not linking verbs, they are linking words, okay? So basically, these are the seven parts of a speech, and the last one is an interjection. An interjection is a word which expresses some sudden feeling. Wow. So that is an interjection. Geez, that's an interjection. Okay. Hey, that's an interjection. So these are words which express some sudden feelings. Okay. So they are interjections. Another terminology has been used. Some modern grammars include determiners among the parts of a speech. Determiners. Determiners are words like a and the, this, that, these, each, every, this, that, those, his, one, two, three, which determine or limit the meaning of the nouns that follow. They determine or limit the meanings. They are called determiners. Okay. So, yeah, we will talk about determiners later. But most importantly, okay, take a look at this sentence. They arrived soon after. Okay. The word after in this sentence, they arrived soon after. The word after in this sentence is an adverb. They arrived when? Soon after. So after is an adverb in this sentence. But take a look at this one. They arrived after us. They arrived after us. Now the word after is a preposition in this sentence. And when you read this one, they arrived after we had left. So there are two clauses, and this is linking the two clauses, joining them. So it is a conjunction. So a word in English can function in different parts of a speech, okay, can be used in different parts of a speech. One word can belong to different parts of a speech. I would like to give you examples of the word mean. He is so mean. Now, what is the part of a speech of the word mean here? Rodrigo and Gonzalo. He is so mean. Do you understand the part of a speech of the word mean?
Adverb.
He is so mean. So the word mean says something about he, that person,
An
right?
adjective.
It's an adjective, okay? Because it describes the pronoun he, the person he. He is so mean. So it's an adjective, okay? It means he doesn't like spending money, or he's not very nice, he's not very kind. He's so mean. And next, what do you mean? Now, in this sentence, mean is verb,
Adverb.
a verb, right, Gonzalo? Mean is a verb. What do you mean? I would like to give you another example. He is so kind. Now, in this sentence, what is the part of a speech of the word kind?
Adjective.
Adjective.
It's an adjective. And what kind of friends do you have? Kind is type, a noun. What kind of friends do you have? What kind of girls do you like? Okay. Kind. What kind of, what kind of job do you want to have? Okay. Kind is a variety, a type. Okay. There are different kinds of jobs in this world. What kind of job would you like for yourself? So, you know, we have so many examples. Take a look here. He lives in a flat, and then his nose is flat. Tell me, he lives in a flat and his nose is flat. Do you see the difference in the part of a speech of the word flat?
Yes.
He lives in a flat. Flat is a
Flat is an noun.
noun, and his nose is flat,
An adjective.
An
an
adjective.
adjective. So in English, one word can belong to different parts of a speech. And what we need to do is we need to observe the position of that word in the sentence. And that position will help us understand whether it is a noun, it is a verb, it is an adjective. I can do a lovely experiment with you guys. Take a look. I'm writing, okay, something. ASDF. It's not a word, okay? I'm just typing random letters. ASDF is so not right. Okay. ASDF. Whatever this word is, what part of a speech does it belong to?
ASDF is a noun.
Exactly. Gonzalo, it's a noun. We don't even know the meaning of this word, but we can say whatever it is, it has to be a noun. Now, let me write another, okay?
A verb.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let me write another.
Uh, Conjunction.
Gonzalo?
I'm not sure.
No, no, it's a I forgot the
Preposition, right?
preposition, right?
Yeah. It's a preposition, Gonzalo. There is a car, SD of the school. You cannot think of any other thing in this place. There must be a preposition in the school, inside the school, outside the school, okay? Near the school, whatever. So only a preposition is possible. Let me try and write another, okay? I'm writing another. They spoke ASDF.
Not verb.
Yeah. So you don't even need to know the meaning of the word to know the part of a speech. You can just look at the position of the word in the sentence and you can easily decide whether it is a noun, it is a verb, it's an adjective, it's an adverb. And it is so important to be able to speak correct English, to be able to write correct English. The first thing that we need to know about the words in English is the part of a speech they belong to. Some people here in India, they do not focus on the parts of a speech of the words. They only translate the words. Okay. And I know a lady from Chile. She's a friend. She was a student in the past. She has reached a certain level in English. For example, I think she's at the intermediate level. Okay. And no matter what she does, she doesn't get beyond that. She's been stuck there for years. Okay. There is no improvement in her. Okay. She has the same problems, the same mistakes she makes. She's been there for years. I met her in 2020 and it is 2024 now. And 2024 is coming to the end. And she is still stuck there. No improvement in 4 years. And you know why? She doesn't care about the parts of speech. When she learns a word, she only asks for its translation. She doesn't care about the part of speech. And that's why she keeps making mistakes, of grammar. Her English is not, flawless. She makes a lot of mistakes. And those mistakes are only mistakes of parts of a speech because each word, you know, each category is used differently. A noun should be used as a noun, a verb should be used as a verb. For example, we cannot say, I am agree. Why? I am agree with you. No, we can't say that. It's wrong. Why? Because when we say I am agree with you, agree seems to be an adjective. Okay, in this arrangement, I am agree with you. Agree seems to be an adjective. But in reality, agree is not an adjective. Agree is a verb. Okay, and that's why the correct sentence should be I agree with you. Okay. Oh, which sentence is correct? I am live with you or I live with you. Which sentence is correct?
I live with you.
Because live is a verb. So similarly, agree is a verb. So we say, I agree with you, I agree with him, I agree with her. Okay. Not I am agree. And this is a common mistake, by the way. A lot of people make this mistake. Okay. So, you know what? In your class, I don't know. I don't even realize, and it is time, 7:16. So it is time for me to say good night, goodbye, and we will continue. I hope today's lesson was a good revision lesson because you knew most of the things I talked about. But I hope you developed some new insights today, maybe, and we will continue with our class tomorrow.
Okay, teacher.
Yep.
Okay, teacher.
So just do the revision work if you can. If you find some time, I will share the recording with you. Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye. Good
Okay.
Bye,
night.
teacher.
Bye.
See you.
Yeah.